So I would like to thank, first of all, for those who are with us today. And I am Matas Jakubelis, um, working at Investment Banking Division of Orion Securities. And today with us we have Paulius Zemionas, who is a CEO of the issuer Metanira, and also Rytis Jakaitis, who is one of the shareholders of the issuer.
Well,
As with uh, as with all webinars, you can find a Q&A tab on the bottom of your screen where you can put your questions, and we will answer them throughout the webinar or at the end of the webinar. So without further ado, I would like to present a public issue of Metanira senior secured bonds. So it's a program of 7 million euros bond, which is already listed. So we are now offering a tap edition on the existing bond issue. Um, so going forward to the terms of the issue, as I mentioned, this is an additional tranche of the secured bonds. The bonds issued until the latest tranche until today was 3.255 million euros, with the offering as of today for 3.745 million euros. The issue price of a bond is 1,006 and 49 cents. The reason being is that the maturity of the bond is less than in 6 months. The maturity date is 5th of September 2025, with the coupon rate offered at 10% and being paid semi-annually. So really important to mention is the loan to value ratio, which is 48% according to the market value of the pledged property. We will talk about the valuation and the reason behind why it's valued currently 14.7 million euros, and with investments in construction, it will be worth 21.7 million euros. So the use of funds is divided into two uses, one being the investment into the completion of the Gandia Hills residential project, which is located in the city of Gandia in the Valencia region in Spain. And the other part is refinancing of the shareholders' bridge loans of 2 million euros, since most of the funds were already funded by the shareholders, around 5.3 million euros of shareholder loans and 1.2 million of equity capital. So in terms of the project description, the issuer, Metanira, through the project SPV, which is a Spanish company, Jeffrey House, is developing and commercializing a residential as well as commercial real estate property in Gambia. 100% ownership of the project property belongs to the project SPV. And the overview of the property is that it is a 280-story apartment buildings, 61 apartments, 202 underground parking spaces, and two commercial premises. The property also has a paddle court, a swimming pool, and a gym. Moving forward, Gandia Hills is located with an address of Pasaic de las Germanias, and I will give a word to Ritas to explain us a little bit more about the location, why it is a unique one.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Montes. Yeah, our project is being developed in a very typical town, which is in close proximity to Valencia, the third largest city in Spain. Valencia is a little bit like Los Angeles, which is surrounded by medium-sized cities. Gandia is one of them, and it is a very well-known town for the Spaniards, given its historical prominence, its beaches and surroundings, primarily known as Gandia Mountain Trails, which is a popular destination for the bicyclists and trackers. Gandia has about 60,000 permanent residents, and over 200,000 people are in Gandia during the summer holidays, due to either tourists or arrival of second home owners that are largely from Madrid, also some from Valencia region. And as a as a typical city for this part of Spain, Gandia has very well developed infrastructure, including roads, railroads, making both Valencia and Valencia Airport easily reachable in less than an hour. On the southern side of Gandia, we have Alicante, which is about 120 kilometers away. There's two major cities in the region that are very easily accessible through all means of transportation, both private and public alike. Uh, the city has access to beautiful beaches, but as a, as a living place for Spaniards, it also offers all the modern conveniences, stores, restaurants, hospitals, universities, schools, and is becoming a very popular place to live in, thus creating a very high level of demand for residential properties.
So here we have a photos of the property, both exterior and interior, and some amenities as a swimming pool, paddle court, and a gym. So what are the key investment highlights of this particular project is that this bond issue is already secured with a pledge of the issuer's shares, as well as the pledge of the shares in the project SPV, which I mentioned previously belongs 100% to the issuer. And the first ranking mortgage over the property will be created after the completion of this issue. So the property hasn't been pledged as of for the bondholders who have bonds today. The reason being is that the property was acquired only in June and fully paid for in September 2024. But within a month, we will create a mortgage over the property, and the loan to value ratio will be 48%. So the market value of the property as it stands at 95% completion is valued at 14.7 million euros, and the appraisal was made in February 2025, so very recently. Another investment highlight is that it is a very short investment horizon. The redemption of the bonds is on 5th of September, and the project is already in an advanced stage. It has progressed quite fast. The property was fully acquired. The installation and construction work has begun. We will tell you about the needed investment and what will be done to complete the building. More than 10 apartments out of 61 were reserved. So there is an interest from buyers already, and the negotiations with the banks to refinance the project has already started. The team is really experienced. It's not the first project in the Valencia region and as well in Spain. So the team speaks Spanish, really understands the Spanish and Valencian real estate market, and they've already showed a lot of belief and skin in the game in the project. So the shareholders have already lent over 5.3 million euros for the project and contributed with a equity capital. This is a really relevant issue they are addressing. In the Valencia region, the supply of housing is not keeping pace with the demand for housing, and this is caused by rapid population growth, interest from foreign investors, as Rita said, and insufficient development of new housing. In terms of the bond issue, here we have a summary. What is really important to mention is that this is a public issue, meaning that you can purchase bonds through your financial intermediary. Would it be a bank or any broker? So you can really send a request and you will find it to buy it from your bank. The collateral is being provided both for the issuer and the project SPV. So talking about the issuer, as I mentioned shortly, there is a pledge of the issuer's shares. There's also a pledge of the issuer's bank account. And also there is a pledge of the issuer's receivables from the project SPV because the issuer is lending money to the project SPV located in Spain to complete the building and own the building. There are also covenants that are applicable to the issuer, which are borrowing restrictions, pledge restrictions, change of control restrictions of shareholders. There must be reporting obligations, restrictions on disposal of assets, and the maximum debt to value must be on the consolidated not less than 70%. Talking about Jeffrey House, the project SPV, there will be a first ranking mortgage over the property created. Right after this issue, there is a maximum pledge of shares, and there will be created a SPV's project bank account pledge. It also has borrowing restrictions, collateral restrictions, so the structure was made to give a maximum security for investors. So this offering is being made public in Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. Also, the issuer has a call option, meaning that they can redeem bonds earlier, paying with the nominal value and the accrued interest. And the source of repayment will be a bank refinancing of the property. This is because it's cheaper than the bonds, cheaper than any other form of debt. The team has already progressed with negotiations with the banks. The use of funds will be used for financing of construction and, as I mentioned, partial shareholders' bridge loans repayment. So these are the key dates. The issue has already started. The bonds will be allocated on the 28th of March, and the first day of validity of bonds will be the final day of this month. I would like to also note that the bonds are being offered first came, first served. So if you are too late to give an order, there is a chance that you might not get bonds. So jumping into a market overview in general in the Spanish property market, the Spain from 2022 2021 recorded significant increase in the number of households, and it has continued to date. And the limited supply of new construction has not kept pace with the growing demand for housing across all Spain. And this has led to rapidly rising property prices across the country. In recent years, new building housing has accounted for only around 40% of new households. Values of residential real estate transactions in the Valencia region have grown by an average of 11% per year since 2013. And despite the recent downstorm, the value of real estate transactions in the Valencian region kept increasing and increased by as much as 30% in 2024 fourth quarter compared to fourth quarter in 2023. According to the Saxa Bank research, lack of housing supply in the Valencia region is evident. Valencia continues to face one of the most significant imbalances between housing supply and demand in Spain. As we talked, due to rapid population growth and interest from foreign investors. And as a result, the property prices are rising significantly, with residential property prices in 2024 in the city of Valencia increasing by 24% to almost 3,000 per square meter, while in the Valencia region in general, property prices have increased by 16%, and the average house price increased to 2,100 euros per square meter, which is very, very close to what Gandia Hills is offering right now. Gandia is a town in the Valencia region, and it's a seaside resort. As Rita said, it's located just 70 kilometers from Valencia, not too far. Over the past years, real estate prices in Gandia rose by 8%, while rents increased by 37%. The leading Spanish property portal has identified Gandia as the most profitable place to invest in real estate in Spain as of today. So I will forward the word to Ritis to talk more about the project itself and give us some overview.
Yeah, basically, we took over the project at a pretty advanced stage when it comes to construction. We bought it from an original developer, a Spanish company, Biospace, and they had an ambition of developing a very innovative project for Gandia with very high quality accommodation. They've invested very heavily into the project. The estimated investment was in the vicinity of 23, 24 million euros at the time. They started when the market was still growing, but it hit the bottom, and the original developer ending up not being able to repay debts. The bank could not take properties into receivership because of split collateral. The buildings themselves were pledged to the bank, whereas garages and ground facilities were in the hands of a private lender, and they were in limbo for a number of years. When it was brought to our attention, we saw a pretty good opportunity where we could take over. Project was very low construction and administrative risks, because in Spain, initiation of new projects and permissions, construction permissions, they're rather difficult and timely to obtain. This for us had offered an interesting case, and we ended up bringing all the parties to the table and striking a deal at a fraction of the original investment that the developer put into the project. We continue with the original developer's approach of building a very high quality product for a relatively good price. It's a high quality yet economical acquisition for inhabitants. Apartments that range from 2 bedroom, 65 square meter dwellings to 4 bedroom penthouses of 120 meters, with very, very good interior materials and equipment that's already in place. Also, terraces offering beautiful views at Gandia Hills, that's the name. And terraces are super important in Spain because people there spend most of their time outdoors and try to stay out as much as possible, given the weather, which offers over 300 sunny days a year. And in addition to the apartments themselves, the property offers very convenient parking places, some with enclosed garages and storage facilities. It's a close compound, meaning that only the owners or renters of apartments have access to swimming pool, a gym, paddle court. It offers pretty good privacy as every stairwell only has two apartments, not more, and houses actually have nearly a private elevator up to the top floor.
So thank you, Ritas. Talking about the project budget. So it's totaling 13 million euros, and there is an additional investment needed of around 1.74 million euros to complete the project in full. So as we talked shortly, the additional construction works will increase the current 95% completion rate to 100, and in result, this will increase the property valuation from 14.7 to 21.7 million euros. As in what's needed in terms of the construction, Rytis, maybe you can comment a little bit what's needed to do and why are you raising funds?
Yeah, basically, in following, our motto for this project of convenience, comfort, and quality. Uh, we first of all plan to repaint the exterior and the apartments themselves. So that's one major item in the construction. Uh, we could probably skip that because both the buildings and apartments look pretty good. It's remarkable how well the quality kept over nearly 10 years that the project was in limbo. But since we're offering it as a new and high quality product, we decided we have to make it look really fresh. Uh, Another item is some engineering installations, uh, heating and ventilation and conditioning. That was put initially, we saw it as needing some refurbishment and improvement. We've been advised by a major engineering company called Vestal during the due diligence process that would facilitate to value increase of the properties, and all the rest are relatively small items like uh, changing tiles here and there, fixing some of the electrical shutters, installing a new transformer, which was actually stolen in the early days of the freeze. So these would be the main items. We don't have one specific large item, but in combination, they all come up to the investment need that we're indicating.
One question came up from investors.
Sure.
What type of construction works were done from December up until today, within
Only
three months?
yeah, only the cleaning, because we're expecting renewal of the construction license, given that we're fixing some engineering installations. We had to go back to Gandia municipality in Spain. They have a very strict supervision of projects that have been approved. So now we have all the permits, all the permissions. So that was one part of what we had to do. We also ran competitive tenders for suppliers of different different components in the project, and now we have them all lined up. And now we're gonna kick in the full gear of renovation starting April.
Thank you. So on the left corner, you will see the cost structure of the budget, and you will see that 9.25 million euros have been invested, mostly for acquisition of the property. So 1.74 million remaining, and the 2 million of the 3.74 million of the bonds will be used to refinance shareholders' bridge loans, which, as of today, are in a big proportion of the financing. I will go to the next slide, and you'll see the financing structure. Talking about the real estate market, the Remax, one of the world's leaders in real estate sales, will be leading the project for sales. And since the first 2 weeks of the project launch, there were more than 50 interested buyers who were brought in to look around, and more than 10 reservations made. As of today, there are 13. And we have a question from an investor as well. Is there received any advance payments from those reservations?
Yes, we take a small reservation fee of 4,000 euros, and we will take in down payments of about 20% of the sales value as we move on to what is called preliminary sales agreements. At this very moment, we cannot yet do that. We have to complete another administrative task, which is called horizontal division of apartments. Although they all have plans and layouts and all the installations, they have not been registered as individual units, meaning they haven't been assigned individual property codes that are required for signing preliminary sales agreements.
Great. So at the right bottom, you will see what are the units of the building. So we have parking, right, storage facilities, commercial premises, and then we have prices and area, and then price of a square meter. So maybe, yeah, commenting on the apartments square meter price. So this is very close to all the Valencian region. And as I talked with the team, with the Ritas Paulus, this is a more conservative offering to new buyers. If you can comment on this, how the price was calculated, and what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, basically, if we look not necessarily at the entire Valencian region, which may bear less relevance given the differences among different suburban areas of Valencia and Valencia itself. Currently, in Gandia, there is zero new construction available, so there are no new apartments. Secondhand apartments, they vary from about 1,500 euros in shabby quality to 2,500, 2,500 euros for better quality apartments. We're right in the middle of that price range, and we essentially sell our apartments and offer our apartments at the value that's been indicated by the valuation providers. The appraisers, they actually have to register that valuation with the Society of Appraisers in Spain, and that becomes an official valuation for the purpose of people buying properties and borrowing money from the banks because the banks will lend on that basis. So we pretty much follow that guideline. We may give small discounts here and there, but essentially we're in the vicinity of official valuation.
Okay, so moving forward to the financing structure, the current financing structure is divided into shareholders' equity of 1.1 million, 1.2 million, sorry. Shareholder loans are 5.34 million euros, which is a big proportion of the total financing, and we have the bonds of 3.25 million euros. If we are looking into the type of shareholder debt there is within the financing structure, we will find that bridge loans are 2.59 or around 2.6 million euros, of which 2 million will be returned to shareholders. And the big proportion of other type of debt are subordinated loans, around 2.8 million euros, which will remain until bond maturity. So the total of debt of shareholders' debt will, after the repayment, will still stay at around 3.34 million euros. So on the right-hand side, you will see that new financing structure after the new tranche, where bonds compose 7 million euros and shareholder loans are a little bit decreased to 3.4 million euros. So talking about the summary of the project, what has been done so far. So the first tranche of this public issue, the bond was issued in March 2024. Since then, the property was acquired in 2024 June. Then there were a few more tranches issued until the real estate was fully paid for in December. So as of January, there were already reservations made, and today in March we are talking about the new tranche, which will be the final one until the bank refinancing comes in the seventh month of 2025, and we expect the bond maturity in September. So looking at the profit and loss account, we will see that profit and loss account really doesn't show us anything because it's an issuer which is lending money to the project SPV. But while looking at the balance sheet, we will see that there is shareholders' equity of 1.2 million euros, and there are also receivables from the project SPV. So important to note that this is not audited financial accounts, but the audit is already in progress, which will be available. Rytis, if you could confirm when will the audit will be available, or Paulius?
Yeah, we're aiming traditional audit timeframe of end of April, and we're consolidating audited statements to include both Metanira and Jeffrey House. So we have a Spanish company auditing Jeffrey as we speak, and then consolidation will happen on the basis of Metanira balance sheet.
So here we have a project SPV, profit and loss account, and what really is important is assets. So we have real estate at valued at 9.8 million euros due to also some construction works, and this is accounted as inventories due to the Spanish accounting, but it should be really considered as an asset of real estate. So I'm giving a word as well again to you, Rytis, to talk about key people in the project and what are their experience.
Yeah, we've been working in the Spanish real estate markets for 6 years now. And during that time, we've tried to create a pretty strong ecosystem of different parties needed to successfully complete projects in Spain. Spain is a peculiar market, as you may know, and if you like us as investors want security and then timely completion of projects, you'll realize how important it is to have the correct composition of the team. Here we see just four faces, but in fact the entire team is much greater. It also includes lawyers who we tested in pretty difficult negotiations. It includes auditors, engineering companies, appraisers, and so on. So the key people and the CEO of Jeffrey House is Sidas Palauskas, who's been working on real estate projects in Spain for over 7 years now. But his total real estate investment and development experience is over 20 years, spanning Lithuania, United Kingdom, and Spain now. He's completed a number of similar real estate transactions. So we'll tell you more when we get to those specific examples. But we, as investors, have funded his previous ventures, and we've tested him, on the battlefield, so to speak. Paulus is our eyes and ears when it comes to all things cost and investment. He's the CEO of Lithuanian company running the project, and we've been working together for a good number of years with restructuring, revamping of businesses in Lithuania. He's had great experience from working at Evergroup, which is part of one of the largest Lithuanian conglomerates, Vilnius Prekyba, and he also has experience on supervisory boards and management boards of numerous company. Me myself, I'm an investment person. I've been doing that for over 30 years in different countries, in Lithuania as well. Been buying and selling and restructuring companies. My original investment banking company in Lithuania had a spin-off of a real estate company that is still active in Lithuania, although I'm not part of it since many years. And over the last few years, I've been looking at various investment opportunities here in Spain. We included Alberto Mia, our architect here, not only because of his experience, of which he has a lot, both in industrial and commercial and residential properties, but also for the fact that architects in Spain, in Spanish real estate projects, have a very prominent role. Going far beyond their architectural responsibilities. They have overall budget control. They take their part in selection and hiring of all the contractors and take care of all the administrative and official matters when it comes to registrations, obtaining of various permissions, registration of this horizontal division where individual property codes are assigned to different units and so on. So he's a really key part of our entire team.
In terms of the structure and shareholders, so there's a really strong shareholder base. So RJ Ventures, it's a family office owned by Rytis and Justina Milaknyte, and they have Spanish property development experience through Casa Saida financing. We also have an investment company based in Lithuania, which is controlled by a Danish family, Niels Fritzman, who has also experience in real estate development, as well as a lot of experience in Lithuanian real estate development, which we have a few key projects. Also, we have Jordanas Kestanavičius ir Victoria Kestanavičienė. It's a family company. They are the owners of one of the largest fish processing companies in the Northern Europe, who are really active in private equity and real estate investments internationally, including in Spain. The company also operates several hotels and offices in Lithuania as well as Latvia. And also we have a Marula Property Equities. It's a closed-ended real estate fund for informed investors investing in a wide range of property classes. And the fund is managed by Atelier Investment Management, which is supervised by the Bank of Lithuania. Here we have a few developed projects by the team. This is one of the examples of the property purchased in 2019, where it was purchased for 2,075,000 euros. The renovation investment was around 700,000 euros, and we see a sale in revenues in 2022, which was 1.4 million euros. Here we have a few more examples, and as you may see, these all have some similarities, which are that they were acquired already not fully finished, and this is a specific know-how of a team to renovate and invest in construction works to make it fully livable and then sell it successfully. So coming back to the financing needs, today we are talking about the completion and commercialization of the Gandia Hills project. To date, the issuer has issued 3.255 million euros of bonds out of the total 7 million euros bond program, and borrowed 5.3 million euros from shareholders. So there is a need to arrange the financing structure to fix it and to complete the real estate project by investing in construction works we talked about. Here is a reminder of the terms of the bond issue. So maybe a quick overview that the public issue ends on the 27th of March, and the maturity date is on September 5th, 2025. Risk factors, so we are obligated to mention those. We will not go through in detail, but you will have to bear in mind that there are project risks or risks associated with economic environment or real estate market. So I will jump to some final pictures of the property. You can also look at their website of Gandia Hills. You will see all the details, including the pricing and the other details. So here we have the exterior. These are the views from the apartments overlooking hills. And here we have on the right Mercadona, a supermarket, spacious rooms, and a fully equipped kitchen, as well as a bathroom, and underground garage and storage facilities. Here we have a paddle court for active leisure and a pool. So we have a few more questions that we can now jump into. So I will read them loud. How long after the tranche is issued will the property be pledged to bond investors?
Yeah, it will be pledged immediately. We have prepared all the documentation and We are starting the official registration on the 27th, if I'm not mistaken, of March. What is happening in Spain with property pledges is that the pledge takes place at the notary office and it becomes effective immediately. So that grounds protection of any siphoning of of the property or additional borrowing being loaded onto the asset. And then after the notary makes an entry into their databases, there is a 30-day period during which uh, the pledge has to be registered within the land registry of Spain.
Okay, what would be the redemption plan if the bank refinancing fails?
Yeah, we have a layered plan for redemption if the bank is not forthcoming. Although we expect everything should work fine. Uh, there isn't much of those advanced projects here in Spain. We've also been approached by two private debt funds here in Spain who like the structure given the collateralization of properties. This is not very often is happening with private debt providers. They're offering currently terms that are similar to our bond issue. But we will continue with the bond issue, of course. I should have probably mentioned before that as part of our idea of creating this ecosystem of real estate projects in Spain for Baltic investors. We want to create a bond market and familiarity with ourselves. So, this bond issue and the previous ones were designed for us to have a go-to financing source back home. Private debt providers is another potential source of refinancing. We also expect that we will have a considerable amount of down payments done. We're now in the process of signing an insurance agreement with an insurance company here in Spain because it's required that uh, developers give guarantees to potential buyers who make advance payments that their advance payments will be refunded in case the project stops for whatever reason. And this, a go-to venue is either do that kind of insurance with the banks or the insurance companies. And in case we don't have a bank, then we have an insurance company, which allows us to access funds that is coming from potential buyers as well. And of course, if there is any shortage of funding, shareholders can still step back in and then do another bridge if necessary.
Great. How many reservations do banks need to refinance bonds?
20 to 40%. We're currently at 15, and we're not yet doing it very actively. We have a waiting list. We have corporate buyers that want to buy apartments wholesale. We have an offer to buy an entire stairwell of apartments, which would pretty much bring us to 20% of reserved or pre-sold apartments just by doing that one deal. But of course, they want a little bit of a discount, so we're not in a hurry to do that.
Thank you. Why are bonds sold at a higher than the nominal value? So I will help to answer this question. The nominal value is 1,000, but since the interest was recently paid in March, We have less than 6 months until maturity. So we are paying for not for the nominal value, but for the issue of the bond price. So this is also related to the question when the interest will be paid. So it will be paid together with the redemption of the bonds. Moving forward, who are the target buyers of these properties? Maybe, Rytis, you can also answer this question.
Yeah, primarily, and now we have a pretty good profile because, Matas mentioned we had 50 interested buyers. I mean, it's way above 100 now, so we have a pretty good profile. Majority will be people living in Gandia. As I mentioned, there is a big need for new modern units there. We also have some second homeowners who've been visiting and reserving. And then we have, we'll call it corporate buyers, or, behind them, it's typically either speculators or people who live off of rent.
What are the recent price developments, positive, negative, and why?
Um, yeah, the prices keep on growing, mainly on the back of very very low demand. In Gandia, as I mentioned, there are no new products currently available. There are some constructions that uh, might be started, but again, given Spanish regulation and construction permit terms, we're not seeing anything new on the market in the next 3 to 5 years. Those prices will keep on rising, at least until some level of saturation is reached at the market level.
Okay. And we have a final question regarding the bank financing. Once the bank financing is finalized, should the bondholders expect the early redemption? Is there a possibility of such, or do you plan to redeem on September?
Uh, yeah, given our current timing, we expect offers by July. And then everything's going to stop in Spain for a few weeks due to holidays. So I think again, purely selfishly, given the difference in financing cost, we would like banks earlier, but I don't think we'll be able to achieve refinancing sooner than August, and then we're effectively in September. So yeah, I expect that we're going to hold bonds to maturity.
Great. If you have investors any more questions, we are happy to answer them. Or maybe you would like us to reassure or reconfirm something that we may not mentioned or answered not fully. So I see that we have no more questions. So I will give a brief reminder that the bonds are being offered until 27th of March. First came, first served. Oh, we have one question. First came, first served. So really do not hesitate to make an investment. One more question. What have been the developments in construction costs, and did they affect your project?
Come again?
What have been the developments in construction costs, and did they affect your project? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
understood. Yeah. Costs have increased a little bit, but not as much due to cost inflation, but more due to our own choice of putting a little more advanced engineering systems in place, following that same quality plus comfort ideology.
Okay. Let's wait a few more moments if we have no more questions, then we will wrap up. So I would like to thank everyone for joining us. If you have any questions, you can contact Orion Securities. We will give you a detailed answer to your questions. So we're really hoping um, to receive questions, and we are happy to answer them. That's it for today, and I wish you a good day.